Most people believe they make their own choices, but rarely ask who or what is doing the choosing. We navigate our days, confident in our agency, our conscious decisions charting the course of our lives. We think of potential as something to be achieved, a summit to be conquered through sheer will and relentless effort. We're constantly told to strive for our full potential, to push harder, dream bigger, to become more. But what if the path to our most profound capabilities, our true genius, isn't about adding more layers of effort, but about uncovering what lies dormant, often unseen, within the vast landscape of our own minds? What if the answers to why we do what we do are hidden in plain sight, in the whispers of our unconscious mind, explained not by force, but by understanding? Welcome. You are embarking on a journey, not across continents, but through the intricate corridors of belief, habit, and the often uncharted territories of the inner self. This is Unlocking Your Inner Genius, Jungian Psychology for Peak Performance. In this exploration, a real psychology documentary of the soul, we delve into the profound insights of depth, Psychology Explained, seeking not just improvement, but a genuine self-awareness and transformation. If the search for understanding the complexities of human behavior and identity speaks to you, if you're ready to explore the deeper currents that shape your life, subscribe and turn on the bell. These are the kinds of questions that don't leave us unchanged. Our exploration today is an invitation to look beyond the surface, to discover the hidden architecture of your psyche, and to unlock the extraordinary potential that resides within. Ever feel like you're not living up to your full potential? Like there's a deeper, more authentic version of yourself waiting to be discovered? It's a common human experience, this sense of untapped capacity, a quiet yearning for something more. In today's relentlessly fast-paced world, the quest for peak performance has become more than a buzzword. It's a vital aspiration for many seeking not just success, but fulfillment. We chase productivity hacks, new strategies, and the latest self-help trends, all in pursuit of that elusive state of optimal functioning. Traditional approaches often focus on surface-level changes, altering habits, setting goals, pushing through limitations. And while these methods can offer temporary gains, they often fall short of creating lasting transformative change. Why? Because they frequently neglect the most crucial element, the intricate, powerful, and often mysterious inner world of the individual. They may not fully address the unconscious mind explained by deeper psychological frameworks. This is where the profound wisdom of Jungian psychology offers a unique and transformative lens. Developed by Carl Jung, a pioneering figure in psychology, this approach invites us to journey inward, to explore the rich, symbolic landscape of the psyche. It suggests that unlocking your inner genius isn't about forcing yourself to be someone you're not, but about courageously understanding your unique psychological makeup, embracing all facets of your being, even those parts you might prefer to keep hidden. It's about self-awareness and transformation at its deepest level. I remember a time not so long ago when I felt utterly stuck. I was navigating my career, my relationships, my personal goals, with a persistent sense of being on a treadmill. Working hard, yet feeling uninspired, unfulfilled, and profoundly disconnected from my own potential. It was as if a vital part of me was dormant, locked away. Then I stumbled upon the world of Jungian psychology. It wasn't an instant fix, but a gradual unfolding, a journey of discovery that fundamentally changed everything. Learning about the concepts we're about to explore, the archetypes, the shadow, the collective unconscious, was like finding a map to a hidden treasure within myself. It taught me that understanding why we do what we do is the first step towards true empowerment. This powerful approach didn't just offer insights, it provided a pathway to tap into that inner potential, to cultivate genuine emotional intelligence, lessons, and to start creating a life that felt truly aligned and deeply resonant. So what is this inner landscape that Jung invites us to explore? How can understanding its features help us achieve not just peak performance, but a more authentic and meaningful existence? The journey begins by acknowledging that we are more than just our conscious thoughts and intentions. We are vast, complex beings, influenced by forces that often operate beneath the surface of our awareness. The quest for peak performance, viewed through a Jungian lens, becomes less about relentless striving and more about profound integration. It's about understanding the dynamic interplay of conscious and unconscious elements within us. It's about recognizing the patterns, the symbols, and the energies that shape our experiences. This isn't just about intellectual understanding. It's about an experiential journey into the heart of your own human behavior and identity. In the sections to come, we will delve into the core tenets of Jungian psychology, exploring concepts like the collective unconscious, the power of archetypes, and the crucial work of confronting and integrating what Jung termed the shadow. Nay, we will discover how these ideas, far from being abstract theories, offer practical pathways to unlocking your inner genius, fostering self-awareness and transformation, and ultimately, achieving a state of peak performance that is both sustainable and deeply fulfilling. Prepare to look within, for it is there in the depths of your own psyche that your greatest potential awaits. This is not just another guide to self-improvement. It is an invitation to a profound encounter with yourself, a journey into the very essence of why we do what we do, and how we can do it with greater clarity, power, and purpose. To truly begin unlocking your inner genius, we must first venture into the foundational landscape of Jung's model of the psyche. Imagine your mind not as a solitary island, but as a peninsula deeply connected to a vast, unseen continent. This continent, in Jungian terms, is the collective unconscious. This isn't the personal unconscious where our forgotten memories or repressed experiences reside. The collective unconscious, as Jung conceived it, is a deeper, universal layer of the human psyche, inherited by all of humanity. It's a reservoir of shared ancestral experiences, instincts, and primordial images, the psychic residue of millions of years of human evolution. Think of it as the deep, underlying software that shapes human behavior and identity across cultures and time. Understanding this concept is fundamental to Depth Psychology Explained and offers profound insights into why we do what we do, often without conscious awareness. This collective unconscious isn't a passive storage unit. It actively influences our perceptions, emotions, and behaviors. It speaks to us through dreams, myths, art, and those sudden, inexplicable intuitions or powerful emotional responses that seem to come from nowhere. It's the wellspring from which universal themes and symbols emerge, shaping our understanding of the world and our place within it. Grappling with the unconscious mind explained in this way is a cornerstone of self-awareness and transformation. Within this vast ocean of the collective unconscious, specific patterns of energy and imagery crystallize. Jung called these archetypes. Archetypes are universal, primordial images and ideas that have existed since the dawn of human consciousness. They are the blueprints for our typical human experiences and roles: the hero, the sage, the innocent, the explorer, the caregiver, the rebel. These aren't rigid stereotypes, but rather dynamic, energetic patterns that shape our personalities, motivations, and how we interact with the world. They are the inherent potentials within the human psyche, influencing our human behavior and identity in profound ways. Think of them as the psychic organs through which we experience life. Just as our physical organs perform specific functions, archetypes organize our psychological experiences and guide our development. Recognizing which archetypes are most active within you is a key step toward unlocking your inner genius, because they point towards your innate strengths, your natural inclinations, and even your potential pitfalls. This exploration is a critical part of any real psychology documentary of the self, offering powerful emotional intelligence lessons. Now, within this framework of the psyche, Jung identified another crucial and often challenging component: the shadow self. This is perhaps one of the most misunderstood yet vital concepts for achieving genuine peak performance and personal growth. The shadow is the dark side of our personality, the part of ourselves that we often deny, repress, or project onto others. It contains all the traits, impulses, and desires that our conscious ego deems unacceptable, shameful, or simply inconvenient. It might house our unexpressed anger, our hidden fears, our secret jealousies, or even our undeveloped talents, and positive qualities that we were taught to suppress. Confronting the shadow is often uncomfortable. It means acknowledging the parts of ourselves we'd rather not see. And this is a crucial but, the shadow is not inherently evil or negative. It is simply unconscious, and by remaining unconscious, it can exert a powerful, often destructive influence on our lives. This is where shadow work psychology becomes essential. When we deny our shadow, these repressed energies don't disappear, they fester. They might erupt in unexpected outbursts, self-sabotaging behaviors, or projections where we criticize in others what we can't accept in ourselves. This internal conflict is a significant barrier to peak performance and authentic living. However, the shadow also holds immense potential. Within its depths lie hidden strengths, creativity, vitality, and authenticity. Jung believed that integrating the shadow, bringing its contents into conscious awareness, and accepting them as part of our whole self is essential for individuation, the journey towards becoming a complete, integrated human being. This process of self-awareness and transformation is not about eliminating the shadow, but about understanding it, learning from it, and harnessing its energy constructively. It's about reclaiming lost parts of ourselves. A journey into the Jungian psyche, therefore, is a journey into wholeness. It involves acknowledging the vast, shared inheritance of the collective unconscious, understanding the archetypal patterns that shape our individual expression, and courageously engaging with the often uncomfortable, yet ultimately liberating, aspects of our shadow self. These explorations provide the foundational understanding needed to move towards unlocking your inner genius and achieving a more integrated and powerful state of being. Understanding why we do what we do requires us to look at all these layers, the light and the dark, the conscious and the unconscious. We've journeyed into the collective depths and acknowledged the universal shadow. Now, the path to unlocking your inner genius becomes more personal, more attuned to your unique energetic signature. It's time to explore how the archetypes we discussed, those universal patterns residing in the collective unconscious, manifest specifically within you. Identifying your dominant archetype, or a constellation of influential archetypes, is like discovering the blueprint for your innate strengths, talents, and core motivations. This is a pivotal moment in any real psychology documentary of the self, where depth psychology explained translates into actionable self-awareness and transformation. While we all carry the potential for every archetype, certain ones tend to be more prominent in our personalities, guiding our choices, shaping our passions, and influencing why we do what we do. Understanding your primary archetypal energies can illuminate why you're drawn to certain careers, hobbies, or types of relationships. It can explain your natural way of approaching challenges and what truly makes you feel alive and purposeful. Let's consider a few relatable examples. Do you resonate with the hero archetype? Perhaps you're driven by a desire to overcome obstacles, protect the vulnerable, and prove your strength and courage. Your peak performance might be found in competitive environments, in roles that demand bravery, or in championing a cause you believe in? Or perhaps the sage archetype speaks to you more strongly. Are you a lifelong learner, always seeking knowledge, truth, and understanding? Do you find fulfillment in sharing wisdom, mentoring others, or delving into complex ideas? Your genius might lie in research, teaching, philosophy, or any field that values deep thought and intellectual exploration. This pursuit of knowledge is a direct path to unlocking your inner genius. Consider the explorer. Does the call of the unknown, the thrill of discovery, and the desire for new experiences define your approach to life? You might find your peak performance when you're charting new territories, literally or metaphorically, innovating or breaking free from convention. Your inner genius thrives on freedom and the pursuit of novel horizons. Then there's the caregiver, whose essence is compassion, generosity, and a deep desire to nurture and support others. If this resonates, your strengths lie in empathy, building community, and alleviating suffering. Your peak performance emerges when you are serving others, creating harmonious environments, or providing comfort and healing. These are powerful, emotional intelligence lessons in action. These are just a few examples, and the landscape of archetypes is rich and varied. The innocent, the rebel, the creator, the ruler, the jester, the lover, the magician. Each has its own unique set of motivations, strengths, and potential shadows, for even dominant archetypes have their less developed sides. Often, we are a blend of several archetypes, with one or two taking the lead at different stages of our lives. So how do you begin to identify your dominant archetypes? Pay attention to your recurring dreams and daydreams, what themes and roles emerge. The stories, myths, and characters that deeply resonate with you. Who do you admire and why? Your natural talents and passions. What activities make you lose track of time and feel authentically yourself? The feedback you receive from others. What strengths do people consistently see in you? Your deepest motivations. What truly drives your most significant choices and efforts? This process of identifying your archetype isn't about boxing yourself in. Rather, it's about gaining clarity. Understanding your archetypal framework provides a powerful lens through which to view your human behavior and identity. It helps you understand your innate wiring. When you begin to understand and align your actions with your dominant archetype, something remarkable happens. There's a sense of flow, of authenticity. Your efforts feel less like a struggle and more like a natural expression of who you are. This alignment is a direct pathway to increased purpose, fulfillment, and ultimately peak performance. You're no longer trying to fit into a mold that wasn't designed for you. You're operating from your core strengths, unlocking your inner genius. In this context means embracing the inherent power and wisdom of your archetypal nature. She hesitated, her voice barely a whisper, as if addressing something or someone just beyond perception. If my voice has reached you, if these archetypes resonate within your own story, leave a trace, a sign. Which one calls to you? This is your moment. Curious mind. Engage, like, share, subscribe, comment, and perhaps you'll make it through. What lingers just beyond awareness into a deeper understanding of your own unique blueprint? The beauty of this Jungian approach, this depth psychology explained, is that it honors individuality. It doesn't prescribe a one-size-fits-all path to success. Instead, it guides you to discover your path, your unique contribution, your specific form of genius. By unveiling and embracing your archetype, you tap into a wellspring of energy and motivation that is authentically yours. This isn't just about improving skills. It's about living in greater alignment with your soul's code, a fundamental step in any journey of self-awareness and transformation. The more you understand your archetypal patterns, the more intentionally you can cultivate the environments, relationships, and pursuits that allow your inner genius to flourish. We've explored the vast collective unconscious and identified the vibrant archetypes that shape our potential. But the journey to unlocking your inner genius and achieving sustainable peak performance inevitably leads us to a more challenging, yet profoundly rewarding terrain, the realm of the shadow self. As we've touched upon, this is where shadow work psychology becomes not just a concept, but a vital practice for anyone serious about self-awareness and transformation. To recap, the shadow comprises all those aspects of ourselves that we have. Disowned, repressed, or deemed unacceptable. These are the traits that don't fit our conscious self-image, or that society, our upbringing, or our personal experiences have taught us to hide. It could be anger, fear, envy, greed, laziness, or even unexpressed creativity, assertiveness, or vulnerability that we were conditioned to see as negative. Understanding why we do what we do often involves uncovering these hidden drivers. The importance of acknowledging and integrating the shadow cannot be overstated. When we deny or suppress these parts of ourselves, they don't simply vanish. Instead, they gain power in the darkness of our unconscious. Think of it like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes constant effort, and eventually it will burst to the surface, often at an inopportune moment and with surprising force. The potential negative impacts of a denied shadow are numerous and far-reaching. Projections. One of the most common manifestations is projection. We see our own disowned traits intensely in others, leading to harsh judgments, unwarranted criticism, and interpersonal conflict. That person who infuriates you with their perceived arrogance, they might be mirroring a part of your own unacknowledged ambition or insecurity. This is a key insight in depth psychology explained. Self-sabotage. Unconscious shadow elements can drive self-sabotaging behaviors. You might find yourself inexplicably undermining your successes, procrastinating on important goals, or making choices that go against your best interests, all because a hidden part of you is acting out. This is a major block to peak performance. Emotional outbursts. Repressed emotions can build up and explode in disproportionate reactions. Sudden anger, overwhelming sadness, or crippling anxiety that seems to come from nowhere. These are often the shadow's attempts to be heard. Lack of authenticity. Living with a heavily suppressed shadow means you're not living as your whole self. This can lead to a persistent feeling of inauthenticity, a sense that something is missing or that you're wearing a mask. It hinders true emotional intelligence lessons. Physical symptoms. Chronic stress from internal conflict can even manifest as physical ailments. The mind and body are deeply interconnected. Confronting the shadow is, admittedly, not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to be uncomfortable. It means looking at the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime avoiding, but it is through this courageous engagement that true growth and integration occur. So, how do we begin this vital work of shadow work psychology? Here are some practical strategies. Pay attention to your projections. Notice what traits in others trigger strong negative emotional reactions in you. Ask yourself, is there a tiny, unacknowledged part of me that this reminds me of? This isn't about condoning negative behavior in others, but about using your reactions as a mirror for your own inner landscape. Examine your dreams. Jung believed dreams are a direct line to the unconscious, and often shadow figures appear in our dreams. They might be frightening, dark, or represent aspects we dislike. Instead of dismissing them, try to understand what message they might carry. What quality does this dream figure embody that you might be rejecting in yourself? Practice mindful self-observation. Without judgment, start noticing your automatic reactions, your hidden judgments, your moments of envy, shame, or irrational anger. Don't try to change them immediately, just observe them. This creates space for awareness. This is a core component of self-awareness and transformation. Journaling and creative expression, writing, painting, music, or any form of creative expression can be powerful tools for accessing and giving voice to shadow aspects. Allow yourself to explore darker themes or uncomfortable emotions in a safe, contained way. Seek feedback carefully. Trusted friends, therapists, or mentors who can offer honest, compassionate feedback might help you see blind spots you're unaware of. Choose people who are capable of this kind of nuanced reflection. Embrace imperfection. Acknowledge that to be human is to be imperfect, to have a shadow. The goal isn't to eliminate the shadow. That's impossible and undesirable, as it contains so much life energy. The goal is integration. Integrating the shadow means bringing its contents into conscious awareness, accepting them as part of your whole self, without necessarily acting on every impulse, and finding constructive ways to express their underlying energy. For example, repressed anger, once acknowledged, might be channeled into assertive action for a just cause. Hidden ambition, once owned, can fuel your drive for meaningful achievement, moving you closer to peak performance. The vulnerability you feared might become the source of deeper connection and emotional intelligence lessons. This process of confronting and integrating the shadow is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It is the alchemical work of turning lead into gold, of transforming what was once perceived as dross into a source of strength, creativity, and wholeness. It is absolutely fundamental to unlocking your inner genius, because true genius is not one-sided. It embraces the full spectrum of human experience. By doing this challenging but essential work, we reclaim lost parts of ourselves, reduce internal conflict, and free up immense energy that can then be directed towards our highest potential and authentic expression. This is the heart of human behavior and identity exploration, and the path to lasting change. Script Section 5, The Integrated Self, embracing the path to peak performance, individuality, the wisdom gained from shadow integration, but now woven into a harmonious and empowering whole. We have journeyed through the intricate landscapes of the Jungian psyche, from the shared depths of the collective unconscious to the unique brilliance of our individual archetypes, and into the challenging yet vital territory of the shadow, self. The principles of Jungian psychology, far from being mere academic theories, offer a profound and practical roadmap for unlocking your inner genius and achieving a state of peak performance that is both authentic and sustainable. This real psychology documentary of the self has aimed to illuminate these pathways for genuine self-awareness and transformation. Let's recap the essence of this journey. We began by understanding that true peak performance isn't just about pushing harder, it's about profound self-knowledge. The unconscious mind, explained through a Jungian lens, reveals that much of why we do what we do stems from these deeper, often unseen layers of our being. We discovered the power of archetypes, those universal blueprints that inform our human behavior and identity. Identifying and aligning with your dominant archetype allows you to tap into your innate strengths, motivations, and purpose, creating a natural pathway to expressing your unique form of genius. Crucially, we confronted the necessity of shadow work psychology. By acknowledging, understanding, and beginning to integrate the disowned parts of ourselves, we reclaim lost energy, reduce internal conflict, and unlock hidden potentials. This integration is not about perfection, but wholeness, providing powerful emotional intelligence lessons and fostering profound personal growth. Embracing this path to peak performance through depth, Psychology Explained is, at its core, an invitation to embark on a lifelong journey of self-discovery. It's about cultivating a courageous and compassionate relationship with all aspects of yourself. It's about understanding that your perceived flaws and your greatest strengths are often two sides of the same coin. The genius that Jungian psychology helps us unlock is not necessarily about becoming a world-renowned prodigy in the conventional sense, though it can certainly support such aspirations. More fundamentally, it's about living with greater congruence, creativity, and vitality. It's about expressing your unique potential in whatever form that takes, in your work, your relationships, your creative pursuits, and your contribution to the world. It's about achieving your peak in your way. So how do you continue this journey beyond our time together today? Deepen your archetypal awareness. Continue to explore the archetypes that resonate with you. Read, reflect, and observe how they manifest in your life and in the stories around you. How can you more consciously live in alignment with your archetypal strengths? Commit to ongoing shadow work. This is not a one-and-done task. Make self-reflection, honest introspection, and the gentle questioning of your projections a regular practice. Consider journaling, therapy, or trusted reflective partnerships as aids in this courageous work. Remember, the shadow holds treasure. Listen to your inner world. Pay attention to your dreams, your intuitions, your gut feelings. Jung believed these are vital communications from the unconscious. Create space in your life to listen to these subtle messages. They often guide you towards self-awareness and transformation. Embrace the process of individuation. This is Jung's term for the lifelong journey of becoming a psychologically whole and distinct individual. It involves integrating the conscious and unconscious, embracing your uniqueness, and living a life that is authentically yours. Seek out resources. There is a wealth of literature on Jungian psychology, as well as workshops, courses, and analysts who can guide you further. Explore what calls to you. Unlocking your inner genius is not a destination, but a dynamic, evolving process. It requires patience, curiosity, and a willingness to embrace the full spectrum of your humanity. By applying these Jungian principles, you are not just aiming for peak performance. You are cultivating a richer, deeper, and more meaningful life. You are learning to navigate the complexities of your inner world with greater skill and wisdom, transforming your understanding of why we do what we do into a conscious creation of who you choose to become. The potential that lies within you is vast. The archetypal energies are there waiting to be expressed. The shadow, once integrated, becomes a source of profound strength. The journey into your own depths is the most rewarding adventure you can undertake. Embrace your unique blueprint. Dance with your shadow and step boldly onto the path of your own unfolding genius. The world awaits the unique contribution that only you can offer. You've reached the end of this exploration, or perhaps it's merely a new beginning. The mind, once stretched by a new idea or a glimpse into its own hidden workings, rarely returns to its old dimensions. The echoes of the archetypes, the whispers of the shadow, the call to your own inner genius, these things once heard tend to linger. If this journey into Jungian psychology and the quest for peak performance has sparked a flicker of recognition within you, if it has stirred questions or illuminated a hidden corner of your own experience, then its purpose is beginning to unfold. The most profound revelations are not those we simply hear, but those we begin to recognize within ourselves in the quiet moments of introspection. This is an invitation to continue the dialogue, not just with us, but with your own unfolding self. You'll find more explorations, more stories that delve into the complexities of the human psyche in our curated psychology playlist, linked below. But remember this as you go forward. The true quest for self-awareness and transformation is a deeply personal one. The map has been offered, but the territory is yours to explore. What parts of your shadow are now calling for a compassionate glance? Which dormant archetypal energies are stirring, ready to contribute to your unique expression of peak performance? Welcome to the ongoing discovery of your own mind. The shadows and the light await your conscious gaze. See you in the next video.